What do you and your spouse argue about when it comes to money?
We're constantly fighting because she makes more than I do.
He takes money out of the ATM, and sometimes I don't know about it.
We never have any money left at the end of the month, and it scares me to death.
Sound familiar? Well, these are the money issues that, if left unattended, can ruin your marriage.
We had a conflict over how much money to spend on a mattress.
How much to spend on our wedding.
We're not saving nearly enough.
But don't despair, it's not hopeless. I'm Janice Lieberman. Welcome to Money Magazine's Tips for Couples. Get ready, because I'm going to show you how to save your money, your marriage, and your sanity. For most couples, money is so much more than currency. It represents control, trust, and safety. Constant bickering over dollars and cents can zap the romance out of any relationship. Over the next hour, you'll meet 5 different couples struggling to survive their own financial chaos. I'll match them up with Money Magazine experts and yours truly for some no-nonsense advice. It'll be a brutal reality check, but it may be the only way to strengthen their finances and their marriage. Newlyweds Linda Bedrosian and Andrew Kim make a respectable 6-figure income. Yet every month they find themselves $5,000 in the hole. With big plans on the horizon, like trying to start a family, they better cut that extravagant spending, and fast. Money Magazine's Stephen Gandel offers them some advice they may not want to hear.
Talking about money is never easy, and that's particularly true with your spouse. In fact, finances causes more fights among couples than sex or even in-laws. 84% of couples say that money is a regular sense of tension in their marriage.
And that's especially true when it comes to planning a budget and how to spend money without the other person getting frustrated. When Linda Bedrosian married Andrew Kim in August 2007, she chose not to take his last name or his lifestyle.
I believe Andrew's an 85-year-old Brit that lives in a 35-year-old Korean man. He's very knowledgeable about what we need to do now to save for the future, but I just want to live. Let's enjoy right now and let's play.
These carefree newlyweds met at a wine and chocolate tasting event in San Francisco. An intoxicating courtship and lavish 6-figure wedding ceremony followed. And today, Linda and Andrew are living the good life here in this quaint but modest home in San Jose, California. It's no secret that Linda loves the finer things in life: designer clothes, expensive restaurants, vintage wines, and fancy facials. And Andrew was right there with her until he realized their live-for-today attitude could put them in the poorhouse tomorrow.
We're currently spending more than we're bringing in. We're tapping into savings for a rainy day, and it's a sunny day. Linda and I have tried maybe once or twice to put down a budget.
And that's where their philosophies collide.
I love what I call fantasy accounting. And I'm always happy about it. I don't have to pay bills with fantasy accounting. There's just money in my debit card that I get to use. But I know that's not reality. So budgeting makes it real.
Keeping tabs on funds is a necessary evil, especially since Linda is in the middle of a career transition. Right now, she's stepping in to keep the family's knitting business afloat.
This is Linda Bedrosian calling from Phi Bidura and Baby Bidura. How are you doing?
And these two have some long-term goals.
Wanting to live in San Francisco and own property and have kids and have them go to wonderful schools, it costs money.
Stephen Gandel says that's another good reason to keep finances in line.
Okay, so I know you guys have some issues with your budget, so let's talk about that. How much do you make about a month?
Our monthly take-home is probably about $8,000 a month. Total spending is averaging about $13,000 right now.
If you're bringing in $8,000 and you're spending $13,000, it's a big gap. So tell me, what are some of the big ticket items?
First off is the mortgage.
Mortgage.
So it's about $3,000 and then another $600 or so in taxes, property taxes.
Add in household items, utilities, car payments, groceries, entertainment, $800 a month on gifts? Wow! Plus, they're helping out Linda's mom by paying her $2,100 a month mortgage. And why are they still holding on to Linda's high-interest $85,000 grad school loan.
Right now, what you have is a situation where you're just giving money away. You have all this savings that's making about 4%, and you have this debt you're paying about 7%. So each month you're saying to the financial services industry, here's 3% of my money. Have it. Enjoy. Okay? An added bonus of getting rid of that college debt is that you'll save $560 a month.
Linda and Andrew are serious about moving 30 miles north to San Francisco, one of the most expensive places to live in the country. So Stephen has developed an aggressive plan that will bring their spending in line with their income. Number 1, refinance their house to a short-term, interest-only mortgage. Approximate savings, $900 a month. Number 2, cut that $800 grocery bill in half. You can feed a family of 6 on what they're currently spending. Number 3, slash their $750 entertainment allowance in half. Ouch. Number 4, $800 a month on gifts? Hello? They need to pretty much wipe that out. Number 5, pay off that grad school loan and pocket $560 a month. And 6, reevaluate whether they can afford Mom's $2,100 mortgage. Probably the toughest choice to bring them in line with their $8,000 a month budget. And finally, once Linda re-enters the workforce, dedicate her take-home pay to the We Want to Buy That Dream House fund.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense.
It does. It's hard. It's new.
It's budgeting.
It's budgeting. It's that B word. I feel we're in such a better spot to make some decisions, some hard decisions.
We have plenty of cash coming in, and if we screw it up, it's our own fault. And if we don't get these life-changing, wonderful things, it's our own fault. And Stephen's a little tough, and so...
A little?
It's tough love newlywed style, but they'll thank Stephen for it later.
Up next, Tasha Jackson and Guillermo Castillo are married, but you wouldn't know it by looking at their finances.
He doesn't know what I'm doing. I don't know what he's doing.
She does have a point. I mean, to a certain degree.
Well, in my house, I write the checks, but I get all approval from my wife before I do anything.
I've got my own checking account. I run my own business. I do my own thing.
What drives me crazy about money and my spouse is that he now controls it.
Tasha Jackson and Guillermo Castillo are married, but you wouldn't know it by looking at their finances. They split everything down the middle, even though he makes more than she does. And although this may sound like a good way to avoid money arguments, as Money Magazine's Janice Revel points out, it's not a good way to build a sound financial future together.
Truth is, about 50% of all married couples have separate accounts. That in and of itself is not a big problem. But when those separate accounts start to interfere with your day-to-day cash flow and your long-term goals, then you've got a real problem.
I think what I spend my money on is my business, and what she spends her money on is her business.
Tasha Jackson and Guillermo Castillo are renting this apartment in Los Angeles, California. Both have good jobs. Tasha's a travel agent for UCLA, and Guillermo does marketing for an automotive company. Married in 2002, they have 2 daughters and one common goal.
Get into bed, sweetie. We want a home. We want to be homeowners. That's very, very important to us.
But when it comes to sharing money in this family, it's every man and woman for themselves. Together, they make $110,000, which is great, right? Well, not if you're Tasha, who makes less than her husband. For instance, they go Dutch on the household bills.
Splitting the finances down the middle, in my opinion, is not very fair because he makes a lot more money than I do.
Tasha makes $40,000 to Guillermo's $70,000. After taxes, they bring in $6,000 a month. Their bills total $3,000. That means they should have a nice chunk of change left over at the end of the month, right?
I don't know where the money goes. I don't know where that $3,000 go after we paid our bills.
How many accounts do you have?
I have a checking account, I have a CD, I have an emergency fund, and I have a college fund for the girls.
I have a checking and a savings account.
So let me get this straight. This is 4 accounts, 2 accounts, 6 accounts.
That's correct.
Is that right? Are you crazy? Now I know why you can't keep track of your expenses every month. No one would know where the money's going with 6 accounts. That's got to stop. I think what you need to do is set up one joint account. Both of your paychecks go into that joint account. That'll be your central account where all the major bills get paid. Then what you're going to do is divert automatically a certain percentage of money every month into a couple of other accounts.
Janice's advice? Before Tasha and Guillermo even pay their monthly bills, 10% of her income and 10% of his income should automatically go to their individual retirement accounts. More on how to invest that money later. Next, they'll each dedicate another 10% to the Family Emergency Fund. In 6 months, they'll have a good safety net. And then I want them both to earmark 5% of their income for personal spending. Gotta live, right? All couples need to get out of their comfort zone if they want a better handle on their finances. In the case of Tasha and Guillermo, they're married now, so act like it. Partners, 50-50.
So that means I'm going to be paying for a bigger proportion of the fixed expenses.
I think the fair way to do this is to have everything proportional to your income. Right now, you are spending approximately 60 to 70% of your income on essentials, rent, school, utilities, etc. You will pay 60% of your pay towards that. You will pay 60% of your pay towards that. Does that sound like a plan?
That sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good.
Another benefit? This strategy will help Tasha and Guillermo keep track of their finances. With an automated system and fewer bank accounts, they can track every penny. The next step in their financial plan? How to save money for retirement.
I have a retirement account with my job. They put aside about 2% of my annual salary, and I don't really know what it goes towards.
I do have a IRA account that was rolled over from my previous employer. It's just sitting there.
I have a traditional IRA that I don't really know what to do with either.
Common problem, simple solution. Target date funds.
It's a pre-mixed package of stocks and bonds and all the other investments that you're going to need to save for retirement. It makes sure in one step, all you have to do is buy this one mutual fund and you're instantly diversified. So I have one more thing for you while we're on the topic of retirement. Tasha, that 2 to 3% that comes out of your paycheck every month, you're not sure what it's going for, right? That is going towards an amazing pension plan.
Most pension plans are privately held. Tasha has a public pension plan because she works in the public sector at UCLA. Public pension plans are better because, 1, the benefit earned is about 50% higher, and 2, it's adjusted to inflation. Now Tasha and Guillermo can really focus on their most immediate goal, buying a house.
So tell me, how much money do you think you're going to have to spend on the house that you want to buy?
We're looking in the neighborhood of about $350,000 to $400,000.
Okay, and tell me again, how much do you have saved up to this point?
We have about $25,000 that's sitting in a CD right now.
Okay, great. In order to have a mortgage that you can handle, you're going to have at least 10% of the purchase price saved up.
Okay.
You've got $25,000, so you've got a little ways to go.
So how do we get there?
Best advice? Don't rush in to make that purchase until you're financially ready. What's the harm in waiting a year or two?
What you need to do is buy a little savings time, and I think that once you have your emergency fund paid off, you can dedicate that entire 10% towards the house savings goal.
In one day, Tasha and Guillermo's financial picture is clearing up. Now they have a way to track the money they spend, a plan for retirement, a way to save for an emergency fund, and a strategy for buying a house. But most importantly, good-natured Guillermo has seen the error of his ways.
Yes, I do make a lot more money. And I think it's only fair that I pay more of the bills. I pay a bigger percentage.
It's almost like it sealed the deal for the marriage, if you will, because it really made us unite, not in just, one as being husband and wife, but with our financial status and kids. Everything just goes into play. I think it was great advice.
Coming up, one couple, 6 kids, 3 grandparents, all under one roof and on one salary. Yikes!
A lot of expenses came within the last year.
Every day has
a worry about money.
If your parent needs you, you do what you have to do.
I feel stuck. I don't feel like I have any way to do that.
My mother-in-law can't come to live with us. We have too many stairs in the house.
It's the age of the sandwich generation. Millions of baby boomers feeling the financial squeeze of raising their children and supporting their aging parents at the same time. With so much on their shoulders, it's families like these that need to have extra cash on hand for the unexpected expense. Money Magazine's Janice Revel catches up with one family who needs to wake up to that fact, and fast.
Here's a sobering statistic. 7 out of 10 American families do not have an adequate emergency fund saved up. When you think about that, the implications are pretty scary. All it takes is a job loss, a major illness, even a busted furnace, and your financial future can be derailed for a long time. Our next couple knows all about that. Here's the good news. I'm going to help them fix it.
Hey guys, let's light up! One thing's for sure, there's never a dull moment in the Charlotte, North Carolina household. That's because Laura and Paul Paddock sit firmly in the middle of their sandwich generation family. 3 aging parents on one side and 6, count 'em, kids on the other.
The oldest is Bryson, who's 12 now, and then our daughter Paulina is 10. Brantley's 8.
Braxton, who just turned 7, Brock, who's 4, and Priscilla, who will be 3 tomorrow. My dad and my mom, Bob and Evelyn, who are 81.
And then my father's 86, Sylvester.
They're just one big, happy family of 11 living under one roof and on one income, Paul's $100,000 salary. Oh yeah, and there's usually an annual bonus of about 30 grand. In addition, Laura and Paul's parents do help with the expenses. So by all accounts, the Paddocks should be doing just fine, except for one pesky problem.
We are spending more than bringing in each month, but then a bonus will come in or a refund check or something, and then we can pay those off and it goes away, so it seems to make it okay. So we go ahead and do it again.
That pattern has gotten the Paddocks into $73,000 worth of debt and has earned them this unenviable title.
Paul and I are the king and queen of consolidation. What we do is get in debt and then find this great plan to get out of it, which is just consolidating it into a new loan so you get to skip a month.
Or transferring it to a new credit card. Janice Revel wants to get to the bottom of the problem.
What are you spending too much money on?
On eating out, entertainment, babysitting, if we go out, is astronomical.
It's not cheap to watch 6 kids, so.
No. Lawn care, and then I have someone who comes to help clean the house every week. Right now, I call it my sanity time, and so that cost. And then I have someone who teaches my kids piano lessons and guitar lessons.
There's the generous $750 monthly donation to their church and some fancy gotta-have-it items like tiles to remodel the master bathroom, a big screen TV, and this deal the Paddocks couldn't resist.
I was pricing at $60,000. We got it for $34,000.
You got it for $34,000. And where did that $34,000 come from?
Home equity was most of it.
Yeah, a little bit of cash on hand, a little bit of leftover from the bonus last year. But most of it went on the equity line.
It didn't stop at 34, unfortunately.
So what was the final tab?
$40,000.
$40,000. $40,000, and most of that in the form of debt.
Yes.
All told, the Paddocks have 3 credit cards totaling 15 grand. Monthly payment, $600. And a $58,000 balance on their home equity line. Monthly tab, $400. That doesn't leave them any room for real family emergencies, like the cost of moving Paul's dad down from Michigan when his mom passed away. Living with 3 elderly parents also brings another issue front and center: Laura and Paul's own mortality.
We enjoy every minute that they're here, but now we realized with getting more involved in their financial situations, what are we going to be like when we're older? I don't want to be burned to our kids.
But that's exactly where they're headed if they don't fix their finances. The Paddocks currently contribute $200 a month to Paul's 401k. Between that and a profit-sharing plan, they've managed to save $130,000 for retirement. But when you're in your 40s, that's nowhere near enough.
Tell me about your immediate financial goals. What is it that you would like to accomplish over the next 6 months to a year?
Debt-free except
yeah.
for the house.
Yeah, reduce our debt and then start to get a plan for retirement. And
have some kind of contingency fund.
Coming up, Janice Revel puts the Paddocks back on track. It's money management boot camp style.
I want you to first and foremost cut up your credit card.
I can't imagine doing this.
The extent of my credit card debt, it's roughly $35,000.
If we can't pay the credit card bill at the end of the month, we don't buy it.
I have an emergency fund, but I've spent 75% of it because I had an emergency.
Laura and Paul Paddock jokingly refer to themselves as the king and queen of consolidation. But the state of their finances is no laughing matter. They can turn things around. But as Money Magazine's Janice Revel says, they have their work cut out for them.
This is mission critical. Paul and Laura simply must get rid of their credit card debt and their home equity line. Combined with the mortgage, that debt soaks up more than 50% of their after-tax income. That's got to stop here and now. Next, the Paddocks must set up an emergency fund. This is a one-income family with 6 kids and no savings. Anything happens to Paul, they're sunk.
Yeah, who was on first? You're on first, you pitch.
And finally, the Paddocks have to get real about retirement.
I'm afraid of what will happen if we don't get our finances under control. It's stressful. It's hard on a marriage. It's hard on the kids to see us stressed out about it.
The Paddocks have 3 credit cards totaling $15 grand and a $58,000 balance on their home equity line. They are $73,000 in debt. That's too much liability against Paul's $100,000 income. Janice Revel says that can't go on.
I've come up with some ideas that are going to go a long way towards helping your situation. The #1 priority for you is to get rid of the credit card debt.
That's all good.
But even before you do that, I want you to first and foremost cut up your credit card. But don't cancel them because that will hurt your credit score. Leave one of them so that in case of dire emergency, you've got it.
So how are they going to pay down that staggering amount of debt? Easy. Paul's upcoming $30,000 bonus.
You take $15,000 of that bonus and tax money and you wipe out the credit card debt. You take the remaining $14,000 or so and you put it towards your home equity line of credit. Okay? I want you to put $1,000 into your checking account. So that'll be 1,000 kind of liquid dollars that you'll have in case of minor emergencies.
No more pools, big screen TVs, or bathroom remodels. For this family, that's going to be an adjustment.
We need to change our attitudes about spending and that internal dialogue that says you deserve it. We deserve to be debt-free, but we don't listen to that voice as often.
If Laura and Paul take next year's bonus and tax refund and wipe out the rest of that home equity loan, they could be debt-free by 2009. And there's one more benefit to that plan.
That home equity line of credit can serve as your emergency fund. It doesn't have to be cash in the bank. It just has to be money that you can access quickly.
Now for a retirement plan.
The third step in your financial rehab here is that you absolutely have to start saving 20% of your income.
What? I can't imagine doing this.
There's no other way for you or me or anyone else to meet their long-term financial goals. 20%.
Based on Paul's $100,000 income and $30,000 bonus, 20% means the Paddocks need to sock away about $2,000 a month. If they pay off their credit cards and home equity loan, they'll be saving at least $1 grand. Plus, Paul already contributes $200 a month to his company's 401k. So they're more than halfway there. Thing is, they still have to find another $800 to $900, and that means making some tough choices.
Now, you've made a decision to contribute $750 a month to a charity, which right now, frankly, you can't afford. So something else has to give. You can't have the charity and the maid and the lawn care and the music lessons. You've got to decide.
Bottom line, the Paddocks need to save $20,000 a year now to make sure they can take care of themselves later. Here's how it all breaks down.
15% of that 20% needs to go into a retirement plan. What I would recommend for you is Roth IRAs. You can put $5,000 into a Roth IRA for yourself, put $5,000 into a Roth IRA for Laura, and then you can put an additional $5,000 or so into your 401k. And that will ensure that you get the full company match. That's 15% of your 20%. The other 5% I would recommend that you use towards paying down your mortgage. You can instruct the bank to make extra payments on your mortgage, every month or every time you're paid. And by doing that, then your mortgage then will be paid off years earlier. So the whole point is that by the time you reach retirement, you want to be relatively debt-free.
A goal the Paddocks never imagined they could achieve until now.
We got the part 1 and 2 done many times. It's the saving mode.
Right.
Is what we need to change.
It's what we have to do if we plan on having a future beyond tomorrow. I'm just excited that we're in a better position because you do have a bonus coming in. We do have tax money coming back.
It's good having a plan and having an opportunity to put it in the right spot, but we don't put all of it in the right spot.
Tomorrow has come, and today is the day.
This will be a good opportunity.
Up next, when the American dream becomes a nightmare.
Sometimes, I'll be honest with you, I just want to pack up and go. Like, I just want to put the house on the market.
It's always scary when you buy a house.
I wake up in the middle of the night just terrified that we're going to lose our condo that we live in.
You take a risk. If it doesn't pan out, you suck it up.
Christian and Kara Sia are not living above their means. In fact, they've pretty much cut all the fat from their budget. So what's got them in financial distress? Their house. A bad loan, a monster mortgage. Sound dire? It is.
We have to be very careful. We don't go out to dinner much. We don't go to the movies much. You know, they say to have reserves in the bank. It's like we live paycheck to paycheck.
Kara and Christian Sia are just a young couple trying to make ends meet and raise their family in this quiet town of Suffern, New York.
I kind of grew up with the mindset of money doesn't grow on trees, as you would say. So I find myself pretty disciplined. I just don't want to use my credit card unless I absolutely have to. It's got to be cash.
But don't let Christian's no-nonsense, button-down attitude fool you. Upon closer inspection, he's one lovable guy with a passion for drums and a super soft spot when it comes to his family.
I'm not always hard nails. Yes, I do laundry. Not afraid to get my hands dirty when it comes to housework. I don't let it sit there and not get it done. Because when it's family time, it's family time. I want to be with my wife and my kids and not have to think about anything else.
If only he wasn't constantly thinking about the house note.
We paid $380,000 for the home. I had $20,000 in savings. We went to closing. The closings were $18,000. They weren't my deposit. So we had no money to put towards the purchase of the home. I'll never forget coming after the closing and sitting in this empty house and just not feeling good. I felt sick to my stomach. For the first time, I felt sick financially.
Christian had buyer's remorse, and with good reason. He and his wife net a little over $5,000 a month, but they're shelling out almost $3,000 for the mortgage alone. Problem number one, they're paying for a rookie mistake.
Really, I think your biggest mistake is you bought too much house. If you couldn't put 20% down as a down payment, you probably should have walked away.
But instead, they went with a 2-year adjustable mortgage. To avoid a balloon payment down the road, the Sias refinanced after 1 year. This time to problem number 2, a 1530 adjustable. Pay interest only now, worry about the principal later. Yeah, right.
After the first year, I'm looking at the statements, I'm like, wait a minute, we're going backwards here. Call different banks and they said, well, you're in negative amortization. I'm like, what does that mean? And I was told that the value of my home is depreciating.
In regards to the negative amortization, now you think your house was depreciating, but really it wasn't. Here's what was really going on. Your mortgage payments were not enough to cover the interest, and it was all tacked onto the principal, which made it seem that the loan was going up.
So get a better loan, right? Well, it wasn't that easy. The Cias had taken out a $35,000 home equity to remodel their kitchen. Problem number 3. Before they could refinance, they had to pay that loan back in full, in cash and pronto, plus a $13,000 prepayment penalty. Ouch! And the hole got deeper. In order to offset their growing monthly payments, the Cias borrowed $47,000 from family, who in turn had to borrow that kind of money from their bank at 7%. Interest Christian and Kara have to take on when they pay their family back.
So tell me about your loan right now and where you stand.
Right now, we're in a 30-year fixed mortgage, and we have a 7% interest rate.
7.5.
Moving forward, here's what they need to do.
Get that principal down and the equity up. What that's going to do is increase your credit score and put you in a good place to get a competitive rate.
Next, the Cias currently pay $7,000 a year in property taxes. I think that's too much. Let's see if we can change that.
Get your property tax card. Look at it. Make sure that everything is accurate. If it's not accurate, you have a fighting chance to get them lowered.
Is there anything we can do about whittling down that $47,000 worth of debt a little sooner?
Well, yes, there is. But it involves dipping into your retirement accounts.
Why don't you consider borrowing against your 403B at 4%, and that way that 4% actually goes back to paying you.
Christian and Kara are allowed to borrow half of their current savings, in their case about $22,000, at a rate of 4%. Do the math. That beats paying back $47,000 at 7%.
So in addition to all the home advice I gave you, I think we really need to work on an emergency fund. And I have some tips. Now, the first one's going to be pretty easy, your tax rebate money. That's $1,700. Put it into that fund.
Throw in tax refunds any and all overtime, and not only is it okay to borrow from your retirement account, Christian should stop contributing to it completely for now. And Kara should just invest the minimum amount to qualify for company matching.
So you're telling us to stop contributing to our 403B and to start borrowing from it. But that concerns me because they always tell you to invest in it, to put more money into it.
Are we setting ourselves up for risk later?
You guys are young. You'll make it up. You need the cash flow now. You need to get out of all this hot water.
Once the Cias have 3 months of income in the bank, they can start investing in their retirement again.
We all fall down!
Before today, I think we thought our only options were make more money or spend less, and spend less wasn't an option. Certainly, we hadn't known that it was possible to negotiate taxes in any way, or I had never heard of the property tax card before. To me, the most surprising was probably the fact that we can borrow from our 403Bs, that's not financial disaster.
Even though it's still risky, but, in order to stay where we are, we need to do what we need to do, and it's only for the short term.
Up next, the toughest lesson of all, saying no to your kids.
And our kids are our biggest investment. I think everybody understands that you have to do those sacrifices for them.
When my son graduated from Stanford, I got a T-shirt that said paid in full.
When it comes to a choice, us having a comfortable retirement and her being provided for, she wins out.
My husband's sacrificing his retirement so we can save for our son's college education.
Private school, piano lessons, karate class. The mommy, daddy, I want list can be endless. You want to be able to say yes to everything. But that could become a slippery slope, especially when it starts to compromise money earmarked for your own retirement. Money Magazine expert Stephen Gendel offers Andrew and Deanna Thomas a happy medium between their children's needs and their own.
The truth is, the greatest gift you can give your kids is to not be a burden to them when you retire. Most people don't plan for that. More than half American families have not put enough money away to afford the lifestyle they want after they finish working. The Thomases are no different. But with the right plan and some shifting of funds, I think we can get them back on track.
Andrew and Deanna Thomas of West Hills, California, didn't always lose sleep over money. They were happily raising their 3 kids on a comfortable 6-figure income. Andrew as a pharmaceutical sales manager, and Deanna as a real estate agent. But when the market changed, Deanna's business slowed down. And today, this family's feeling the financial pinch.
We are able to tighten our belts between myself and my wife. The thing we try to shield is that from our kids.
Even when I take a look at saving long-term for our retirement, I tend to put my children first because I want to establish a cushion for them.
And our kids are our biggest investment.
To shelter Garrett, Jonathan, and Joseph from tough times, Andrew stopped maxing out his 401k. Not good, since these two want to retire at 65, and they're going to need about $4 million to do it. They've also accumulated $15,000 of credit card debt, and their household budget is off kilter. They net $7,500 but spend over $8,000 a month. Stephen Gandel wants to help them close that gap.
I make a spreadsheet of all of our finances, and then I break it down per person.
About how much money do you think you spend a month on the kids?
We're probably spending around $1,500 a month. Oh my goodness.
There are the basic necessities.
They're growing fast. They eat all day, all through the day, all through the night. And oh my goodness, their feet. Their feet grow so fast. The investment these days are in shoes.
That's a mere pittance compared to their other expenses. Private school for Garrett and Jonathan, $900 a month. College funds. The Thomases hope to pay half the tuition for all 3 of their kids. Deanna and Andrew are carrying 2 costly whole life insurance policies. But more on that later. And they're spending $200 to $300 a month for extracurricular activities, not all of which are for the kids. Hey, wait a minute.
Okay, so I've looked at your budget and I see a little bit of fat.
Really?
Right now you spend about $250 for sorority dues, and then you also spend around $900 a year in a club for your kids.
Right.
Okay? Is it possible that we could put those things off for a year? If we do, I'm not telling you to stop it forever, just give it a break for a year.
I can see possibly the sorority, but the children's organization, I have a commitment to that organization, and it would be very difficult to step away from it.
Okay, but these are the hard choices I think you're going to have to make.
Just until Deanna's business picks up again. That would save the Thomases nearly $100 a month, but it's not enough. So Stephen found a way for them to bank a bundle. Number 1, cash out their whole life insurance policies and replace with term life insurance, which is less expensive and just as effective. 2, use the money from cashing out the whole life policies to pay off their $15,000 worth of credit card debt. Approximate savings, $400 to $500 a month. Bingo! This will close their spending gap. $7,500 in, $7,500 out. 3, open a home equity line of credit for emergencies only. And 4, make retirement plans a top priority again.
You're on track to have around $3 million when you retire. So you just need a little bit more. So Deanna, when the real estate market picks up again, I'd like you to put around $200 a month away towards your retirement. I think that's going to be enough to get you there.
That sounds doable.
And finally, Andrew will need to start maxing out his 401k with an aggressive mix of stocks and bonds. Following this advice will put the Thomases back on track before they know it.
It's just that we're going through a financial valley, if you will. Just settle down, keep walking, and hopefully we'll come through the other side in due time.
Coming up, what every couple needs to know about money. My own personal cheat sheet.
We tend to splurge on vacations and going out to dinner quite a bit.
Came home with a car that was probably nicer than I told her it was going to be.
I accepted her as a saver, and she accepted me as a spender.
Whether you're about to be married or celebrating your 50th anniversary, these are the 6 most important things you need to know about your money. First, don't keep secrets. Communication is key. Number 2, don't play the blame game. There are 2 of you in this marriage. Rule number 3, merge your finances. And remember, his debt is your debt and vice versa. So own it. Make a plan to eliminate that debt. And watch your credit card spending. Those interest rates will kill you. Rule number 5, start an emergency fund. Think of it as an adult version of a piggy bank. And finally, make a budget and stick to it. That's Money Magazine's Tips for Couples. I'm Janice Lieberman. Thanks for joining us.
Want more great ideas? Get buying, travel, and entertainment tips at FineLiving.com. Log on today.